Hey guys, I know I haven't filmed in forever, and I'll be very surprised if I actually put this video up because I've been saying that before. I just wanted to play with some new makeup and things like that that I picked up over the past little while, and I wanted to try out on camera with you guys. Some things are high-end, some things are more drugstore, a little bit of mix of both. My skincare is already done. I don't have any really new skincare that I'm wild about. I'm just wearing my normal moisturizer and a sunscreen. So I'm going to go right in with primer, and I picked this up from Ulta the other day. This has actually been sitting in my basket online for ages, but it actually got into the local store, and so I picked it up then. This is the Essence My Skin Perfector tinted primer, and this is in the shade Nude Beige. As usual, Essence shade range is absolute trash. I think they only have like 5 shades of this. And this, I think, is the third one up. I originally picked up 05 and it was way too light, so I returned it for this one. And I know that I'm like super fair right now, but my body's actually much darker than my face because I don't tan my face. Here is, focus, yeah, it's like a little dark, not too bad. This might actually be advantageous on days that I'm not wearing makeup and I'm just out and about, so it can kind of match my face a little better with the rest of me. It's very moussey. It's very like dry almost. My skin's been very dry as of late because I started, I don't know if you're familiar with Curology, but it's like a telemedicine skincare sort of deal. So I've been on tretinoin, and as such my skin's been a little drier. Oh no, it's pilling. Do you see it? Oh no! Oh, I'm making it worse. So the tint is non-existent. I'm actually very impressed with how it looks on its own. Aside from the fact that it's super dry, I probably would have had I known, I probably would have wore my more moisturizing sunscreen. But on its own, this actually looks kind of nice. It has no, like the tint is irrelevant. I don't see it anywhere at all. I'm just afraid of how dry this is gonna be. Since I am worried about how dry this may end up being, I picked up well, I didn't pick up. I grabbed a more hydrating foundation to use for this. I didn't have a new foundation. I'm trying not to buy any more. This is the Wet n Wild PhotoFocus Dewy foundation. This is in the shade Light Warm Soft Ivory. But when I was out at Walmart, I picked up it's a Wet n Wild's new sponge thing. And this is weird. I'm a big fan of the Real Technique sponge. It's very dense. This is almost like, I thought it was flocked. Like it was covered with like the microfiber stuff the way Juno and Company does. And I don't particularly like those. When I wet this down, it doesn't seem to be that material. It's actually just a very porous sponge, so I don't know how this is gonna go. But we'll see, I guess. This sponge is not, like, it's leaving prints of the sponge in it. I already know I don't like this. So we're just gonna skip and go right to Old Faithful here. I think that was the fastest first impression I've ever had on something. You can still see how dry that primer made my skin right in my T-zone area. I've already got like creasing starting like down here, and that's not okay. Let me turn down the light a little bit. Can you see how dry my forehead looks right there? Ooh, like it's grabbing onto dry patches I didn't know I had. Next thing I want to try out, this is from Essence and their newer line that they recently debuted in the United States. The High Beauty brand, sub-brand, whatever you want to call it. It's supposed to have like hemp oil and things like that in it. But this is their Under Eye Brightening Concealer in the shade Rose Beige. This is the lighter of the two. The other one was a little peachier. This is a little bit more pink. Kind of wish I had left the other one alone to see what this looked like in comparison. So there it is, blended and not blended. I mean, it helps a little, but it's very sheer. I'm just going to use the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Sculpting Bronzer in the shade, I think this is Toffee. Let's swipe some of this on. You can even see where I'm starting to get creases. I'm not sure. Not digging this primer. Dog came in wondering who I'm talking to and why it's not her. I picked this blush up from Ulta. They're doing a huge clearance of their Revolution Pro kiosk stand gondola, whatever you want to call it. And so I picked up one of their liquid blushes. This is the Revolution Pro Blush and Lift Liquid Blush in the shade Bliss. This looked like very neutral. I was a big fan of the color. I don't like super vibrant blushes, never have. That's it right there. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, it's not too pigmented, I can appreciate that. I want to try out the new liquid blushes from Selena Gomez's brand. What is it, Rare Beauty? I haven't shopped at Sephora in a very long time. So, truthfully, I was kind of PO'd at their overhaul of the reward system and how crappy it was. And they had the audacity to say that it was better. Like we couldn't see plainly what they were doing. So I've just been doing all my shopping at Ulta. But Rare Beauty is a Sephora exclusive. I think it's a Kendo brand. But then again, KBD was a Kendo brand, is a Kendo brand, and is now in Ulta. So who knows? Maybe Kendo's branching out. Though with this, it feels like very cold. It feels like damp on my face. But not like wet wet. It feels cooling. It has like a cooling sensation. Why? I pulled up the product on Ulta's website and it contains menthol. So yeah, this contains, why? Why would they do that? It also contains wine. Like right at the end, just boom, wine. Okay. Two weird and unnecessary ingredients, and now my face feels cold. I like the color though. The color is it enough for me to suffer through? I didn't grab any new liquid highlighters, or any highlighters really, so I'm just going to use the Wet n Wild MegaGlo Hello Halo liquid highlighter, and this is in the shade Gilded Glow. A little bit down my nose. Well, that's a little too much. Actually, like, really stoked I found this at TJ Maxx of all places, guys. I've been wanting to try this forever and I could never bring myself to pick it up. But this is the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer, and this is in the shade Creme. Yeah, Creme. When I use that, I'm going to use a different product to set it. This is also from Essence. This is the Essence My Skin Perfector Loosing. Wow. My Skin Perfector Loose Fixing Powder in the shade 05 Fair. All these are tinted. I'm not a huge fan of tinted. Whoa. That's light. That's very light and very yellow. Look at that. It's very, very light. It's almost like a very pale banana powder. So let's slather on some of this concealer. See what I think of it. A lot of people love this stuff. That is a nice formula. And I like this. I like this a lot. It's not very heavy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set it with that powder. Yeah, that's bright. And I know I could probably just like use a brush to set this, but the way my under eyes are, if I don't bake with powder, they're creasing. So I'm using this how I would use this any other day. It said it dried down to a matte, but I was hoping like maybe like a satin, because it contains squalane and mica and things like that, so I thought maybe it would be like a very flattering finish, but I am not getting anything but like solid matte. Also accentuates all the wrinkles under my eye. I feel like I'm gonna have to set the rest of my face, or otherwise I just have like those glaring like matte moons under my eyes. So maybe I'll just dust this very lightly around the perimeters of my face, because I don't want to use too much. My face is already so dry. I definitely underblended that spot, ignore it. So let's go ahead and just use some setting spray right now. This is one of my favorites so far. I've been reaching for this a lot. This is the CoverFX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. I just got the wee little one. See if this makes me look human again. So my eyeballs. Recently I've been using the Wet n Wild MegaGlo Concealer Stick. It's in the shade Follow Your Bisque. I just lay this down and then lightly set it with a translucent powder. It makes a pretty good eye base. And I got setting spray on my mirror. So instead of that one, I'll just use the Trance palette for their mirror. I don't think I'm gonna use this one, but oh, it doesn't have, I haven't removed the, this is like my favorite. Come on, come on, come on. That's the best. Just smear this on there. I think first I'm just going to set my brow area. I'm just going to use Peaches and Cream from the Sweet Peach palette. Just use that up on the bourbon. For my transition, I'm just going to use the shade Angel Face by Color Drain Cosmetics. And for my outer crease, I'm going to use the shade Hayride. And then I'm going to go in and apply I'm Peachless by Makeup Geek. I'm going to use my finger for this because it goes on so much better that way. So it's a gorgeous duochrome color. And then for my inner corner, I'm going to go into the Bare Necessities palette and use Idle Hour right here. Just something super simple. I'm not looking to go crazy. For brows, I wanted to try out, this is the the Milk Makeup Kush Triple Brow Pen. I got this in the shade Herb. I don't necessarily reach for brow pens, but I wanted to try this. This has like it's like 3-pronged thing. It's supposed to make doing your brows easier. This is a lot warmer than I'm used to. The sticker on the outside made it look like it'd be ashy. Pronged or forked or whatever you want to call it applicator, because then it goes over it, like it's caught in your brows and you can't like get right down to the skin and make things look unnatural. Okay, I have 2 mascaras to try. Both of them are from Essence. This is the Bye Bye Panda Eyes Smudge Proof Volumizing and Defining Mascara. This is Essence's take on a tubing mascara, and I love tubing mascaras. My favorite tubing mascara so far is the Holly Pop by Holika Holika, the micro one. It is amazing, but Ulta doesn't sell it anymore. I use almost exclusively a tubing mascara on my lower lashes because they just don't smudge, and pretty much every mascara smudges on me. But I'm also willing to try this out on my top lash too, because I want to see how well it'll hold a curl and things like that. This is not going to be like a really in-depth thing. I'm not going to come back a little later and see how well it held up under my eyes and things like that, so I'm going to use my much loved Kevin Aquan curler. Alright. See how this does. Here's the wand. Whoa, it's a big one. You can see it there. Now most tubing mascaras are not good for volume. They just suck at volume. They can sometimes do length, but generally they just don't do much for volume. But I'm actually getting a decent bit of volume out of this. I'm impressed. I like this. Wow, this looks good. Let's try the lower lashes now. It doesn't seem to want to hold a curl very well, but it's doing better than I thought. The next mascara is the Lash Princess False Lash Effect Waterproof Mascara. Now I've tried the other Lash Princess mascaras, and I know like they have this huge cult following. I hate them. I think they're terrible. They smudge all over the place. They're too thin. I get no volume. I just don't like them. But I was interested to try this. And normally I use waterproof mascaras exclusively. They're very good at holding a curl in my upper lashes. I don't use them on my lower lashes because they do smudge. Here's the wand. The formula isn't real wet like the other ones, but it's not moussey either. But it's holding a curl extremely well. Like I can tell right away that this is going to be good for like the big doe-eyed look that I like so much. Like, wow, look at that. But it's getting a little clumpy. This is like a first time the mascara straight out of the tube, first time it's opened, has behaved like a mascara that's, you know, that's aged well at like 2 or 3 weeks, where it's at that like sweet spot. Lash Princess, if you hold up, you might be my new favorite. Wanted to try this out too, and I'm really excited to try this. This is the the Lash Glue Liner. and this is the clear one. I prefer clear. They had a darker version, and they advertised that it could be used as a liner too, but that just sounded like it'd be a bad idea because like it would stick to itself eventually. Ew. Also, Dr. Pepper and cream soda, new love of my life. I just pulled these lashes out. They need cleaned, so forgive me, but I just grabbed the Ardell Naked lashes, the 421 style, because they do have a clear lash band, and I didn't want to do dark liner. Alright, got a line of it down. Oh, it says to immediately apply the false lash. Okay, shoot. So there are my lashes on, and that was actually pretty quick. Lashes are normally an ordeal, but this one is definitely oh no! It's too far into the inner corner and it didn't stick down enough, and then it jumped up and latched onto my eyelid. So it disturbed the shadow there. And lastly, I picked this up a while ago and then COVID happened. So I pretty much abandoned all of my lip stuff. This is the L'Oreal Color Riche Plump and Shine lipstick in the shade 101 Nectarine Plump. And I love colors like this. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? I love orangey, like tangerine, papaya, like really like in your face lip shades. This is supposed to be somewhat plumping. I'm a big devotee of the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme. I love it. It's shades like this that just scream summer to me. I don't know if it's strong enough to really get a plump in my lips. I like the formula. It's very moisturizing. Like it doesn't just sit on top of my lips. But yeah, this is the final look. I don't think I need to go into specifics on my thoughts on the primer. The primer is garbage. Unless you have exceptionally oily skin, I recommend avoiding it entirely. And I don't normally say that because, you know, with some products, some things work for some people but might not work for somebody else. This is just like dry. The Essence High Beauty Under Eye Brightening Concealer. I'm gonna try this a little more. I think this is gonna be a little too thin to be useful. I felt like I needed way more than I actually should have to use. The Milk Makeup Concealer, I like this. I'm glad I found it. I'm super pleased. I'm going to continue using this. I want to see how it performs with my more favored powders. The Essence My Skin Loose Fixing Powder. I'm leaning on not liking this because it is just so matte and it is so bright at this shade. But the next shade over I think would be too dark under my eyes. I'm gonna try it over top foundation and primer that isn't so dry. The blush. I love the tone. The tone is beautiful, but the menthol is unnecessary. Otherwise, however, I do like this. I'm probably gonna continue using it. I think it's like an ideal shade for my skin tone. The Milk Triple Brow Pen. This, I like the idea of this. I like the implementation of this. I don't like the color. The color's a little too warm. I do like the product overall. I can see myself using it again. These are pretty darn good. I like these a lot, and I'm really interested to see how the Bye Bye Panda Eyes mascara behaves. I am really thrilled to have a more affordable option that isn't just the L'Oreal Beauty Tubes Extend, whatever you want to call them, in the red and white dual package. And it's more volumizing than I thought it would be. But in terms of volume, this right here, I definitely need a lash comb because this tends to get clumpy kind of fast. It dries very quickly. I want to see how this holds up, and if it doesn't transfer under my eyes, this may end up being a new holy grail. The Kiss Lash Glue Liner. I like this. I like this a lot. I'm not the type of person that puts their lash glue on the strip lash and then applies to my eye. I prefer to put the adhesive on my eye first like a liner, but this simplifies this considerably. And lastly, the L'Oreal Color Riche Plump and Shine. I love the color. I would wear this all year round. I still can't quite tell if it did anything like plumping wise. I don't think so. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope to see you here in the future, and I look forward to filming more videos. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It would help me out immensely. The YouTube algorithm is most unforgiving. And subscribe. I would love to start putting out more videos in the future. I got focused on Instagram for a while, but I'd like to go back to YouTube. Alright guys, hope to see you here soon.